She has been a life coach, a speaker, a renowned tarot reader, and a consultant for past 14 years. A lawyer by profession and a humanitarian by passion. Today, we are talking with Rashi Roop Laxmi for her next literary work, The Power of You. Wow, Rashi, that's a long list. What did I miss? Why don't you tell us about yourself?
So I'll tell you what. Let me tell you a little bit like about myself in a sense. I am a mother to two wonderful kids, and I'm a wife to a very smart man, and I'm a daughter to two wonderful parents. Apart from that, let me tell you, I'm absolutely honored to be here, Purnima. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. And it's a huge pleasure for me being here. And now to answer your question about introduction, let me tell you, I am a very passionate person. I believe doing things, following my heart like anything. And anything that comes to me is through my passion. For me, passion is the key. And my creativity flows to me through that. So I identify myself through my passion. And as you see, I'm a tarot reader, I'm an astrologer, though I'm an intellectual property lawyer. So it has come through the passion, and it gives me immense pleasure to practice my passion whenever, like every day of my life. So this is what I am all about, basically.
Great. Now I have to tell you that the pleasure is shared. It's likewise. But why don't you tell us about your writing journey? Was becoming an author always on the roadmap?
Purnima, let me tell you that I have always been an avid reader. In fact, a voracious reader. I would read a huge lot of books since I was a kid. In fact, instead of my course, I would keep my books and novels inside my course books, and I would read the novels. I used to do that in the school as well. That was not correct, but yes. But I have been doing. I have done all that. I was so crazy about reading. And reading novels, and like my favorite were Ruskin Bond, Ayn Rand, Fountainhead, Mills and Boons as well. I shouldn't miss out on that, Paulo Coelho, then Chicken Soup for the Soul. I was into classics as well, like Pride and Prejudice, Thornbirds, Gone with the Wind. Like I was hugely John Grisham, into all kind of genres, all kinds. So, but perhaps, and you know what, perhaps each time I finished a book, I would always think at the back of my mind, will I be writing a book? मेरी भी एक दिन book आएगी. I'm going to write a book one day. So at the back of my mind, I knew it that one day I am going to become an author. So that was something which I am like perhaps I was sure about.
Indeed. Why don't you tell us about The Power of You, and how did the writing journey started? Writing that book, penning down your thoughts.
Okay, so actually, you know what? My book, Manifest Your Quest, The Power of You, is a journey, is a book that I have written, a journey of discovering myself. It is a journey towards reaching my own self. So it is a book that I have put together for myself, that where I have discovered myself. It is truly my own story. And I truly believe that every individual has the power of manifestation. And I simply lay down those certain principles which I have believed and discovered through my own journey. And I have put them all together. And I believe that this experience which I have experienced through my experiences, this will really help the readers accomplish their dreams. And you know what? Its uniqueness lies in the simple doable exercises that helps them achieve their goals. And it is more about from mediocrity to reaching the extraordinary. It is about the transformation in you, which each one of us has the capacity to. So it is basically my own journey, which was not very difficult to write, because since It was something which is so, close to my heart, and something which was happening to me. So it was not very difficult to write.
Since you have spoken about manifesting, why don't you tell us about your spiritual journey as well? You are quite spiritual, so tell us about that.
Sure, Purnima. So if I'll tell you what, I am actually born and brought up in a spiritual family environment where everybody is they have very high spiritual values, like vibrating high, and following a spiritual regime is given. And I was one. I was never pushed into spiritual practices or doing this or doing that. It was like everybody's doing it, so I'm also doing it. And I simply love doing it. I believe that whatever I am today, it is because of that spiritual background, which is so strong that can really, I think that it has the power to harness the potential of what one wants to have in their lives. So that spiritual journey is something which started very early for me. And slowly and gradually in life, as I grew up, and while I was practicing tarot, I started doing all kinds of, I started doing and other courses on angels, on healings, on Reiki, because I believe that once a spiritual person will always understand other spiritual practices. And I believe in many other spiritual modalities other than just single one. So I'm into a lot of them. And I truly believe that manifestation is a part of, understanding the whole system, because spirituality in essence is one thing, understanding the whole universe. And so I believe that that is the gist and essence of it.
Sure. And I believe that every working woman is a superwoman on some level, but why don't you tell us, being a working woman, being following so many passions, what is a typical day in your life looks like?
A typical day, normally I have my day planned. I have my day planned in the sense, when I get up early in the morning, I have certain exercises which I do, and my meditation and my spiritual exercises. That is something which is very dear to me, and I do not miss it. Apart from that, I have my day planned. Before starting my day, I have a look at what I want to do in my life and how do I actually see my day going by. So I normally do that. And then, yes, I let things go by, the way it is happening. Because I'll tell you what, Purnima, people who come to me as a manifestation coach, I am a manifestation coach, and people who come to me and talk to me with regard to tarot and manifestation coach, they are looking for some kind of solace in their lives. So I actually feel that if I can help them, that I am not just myself, it is someone else who's helping me help them. I'm just a medium to help them. So I believe that I need to at times, purify myself, and I need to be in connect with that supreme universe. So I try to do that, and for that I need to have a very focused approach to my day as well.
Yeah, so it's planned. It's not like let's get on with it. But yeah, so why don't you tell us? Because being an author is not an easy job. What were the struggles that were awaiting you when you took this decision?
Of writing my book. Okay. So I'll tell you what, every author faces this thing that is called author's block. And I have faced that while writing my own book. I was writing my own journey towards my manifestation of life. But even then, I was facing that writer's block, and it is very common. In fact, had I not got my mentors with me, those people who literally, ask those $1 million questions, I'll tell you what, they kept asking me those important questions, and as I answered those questions, those thought-provoking questions, and I was able to come out of that, So I had thankfully beautiful people in my life. Those were my mentors who could pull me out of those author's block. नहीं तो मुझे पता है, I know people who have kept their projects shelved. उनके books वहां रखे हुए हैं. So I was lucky enough to have such mentors with me.
That's a great insight into your journey. But why don't you tell us about your process as well? How did you started writing? What were the thoughts? What were you inspired by? Tell us a little bit about, because it's about your journey, but tell us about the writing process as well.
I'll tell you, actually, since I'm a tarot reader, and I believe that while I am doing my sessions, what I end up doing is a bit of motivational thing. So these things, when I get an insight about, I keep writing. I used to jot it down. So when I used to jot it down, there were many of them that was collected over the years. And what I did was, one day I was, while reading it, I thought these are very good content, which I can actually use it for my book.
Yeah, the notes.
So I structured my book together with the help of these notes and organized them together. And I was able to, this was the process I went through. Since it was my own journey, I used to write blog. So writing was not new to me. And so it came as a, nice coincidence that, yes, I can write a book after all. So it was basically organizing my thoughts and my notes together, not only notes together, and I understood that there is a way and how I want my readers to manifest in their lives. That was the main intention. I really want to give out to my readers that they should also manifest their quest in their lives as the way I have.
Indeed, indeed. For someone like me who is actually a believer of, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong if I manifest. So that has happened with me. I think it happens with a lot of people. But if someone like that comes to you and asks you, what is the first kind of advice you would give to a lot of people who do not believe in this faith or this spirituality a lot, a starter, a beginner? Why don't you tell us?
Okay. Yes, if a person, see, I believe that we are living in this world and in this universe. So whether people, either they believe in God, if they are agnostic, then I'm not too sure how will they go about it. Because someone who is agnostic, I'm not too sure how to go about it. But I'll tell you what, a universe is something which, whether you believe it or not, is always there for you. And whether, this is from my experience that I have noticed, that whatever you wish for, and you live in this universe, when we live in this universe, we are a part of this whole universe. Like ek ghada hai, there's a pot. Okay, so you are a part of the pot. So when you are a part of the pot, you are the pot. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is nothing, the difference between you and the pot is, I don't think there is any difference between you and the pot. So there isn't any difference between you and the universe unless you start believing that you are one with the universe. It is only the matter of your state, whether you believe it or not. If you start believing, then you kind of start understanding what is it all about. What is manifestation all about? So it has to be more to do with what you want in your life. What is it that you want to manifest? And how much do you believe that you really want that thing in your life? And how manifestation that can in your life, how can that really help you being there in your life? That this whole thing really matters a lot. This is what I believe.
Indeed, indeed. It's a thought that matters. I think that thought, change of thought.
Yes, and believing.
Yeah,
and believing that. Yes, the believing that is a part of you already. Okay, like for me, like if I can think of a candy, I want a candy. I need to think I already have that candy. I already have it. It is just a matter of thinking, and you will actually manifest it. It's not just like just do that. I'll start trying to give you a simple examples that there are ways and means when you start manifesting small things and then later on bigger things in your life. It is just a matter of your belief in your mind and the power of your own self that does it.
Indeed. I do think that a lot of successful people would agree to this. I have, in one form or another, heard this statement. But if I were to ask you, someone as inspiring as you, is there a secret mantra to success? What would you answer?
I think I believe that success is a word that is different for each one of us. And for me, happiness, fulfillment, accomplishment of my dreams is what success is all about. And I believe that I have given my formula for success in my book. And apart from that, like other aspect, which is very important, is persistence and belief in yourself. If you have that, then that is the key to success. Persistence and belief in yourself. If you believe in yourself, there is nothing that can take you apart and from your dreams and your fulfillment and your happiness, whatever success is meant for you. Let's take, for example, that Dutch Olympic star, Sifan Hassan. She just won 3 gold medals. While she was in doing the heat of 1500 meters, she fell down and she had a very scary fall. But what she did was she quickly got up and she started running back. And not only that, she won a gold in that very race. Will you believe that?
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
this is what I believe it is, the power of a mind. It is just a matter of our mind and whether you want it to manifest or not. This is what I believe.
Indeed, indeed. There is a kind of a block, a barrier that we have to cross in our mind itself first, then we can face the world better, right? Okay.
Absolutely, got it right.
Great. Okay, why don't you tell us if a young author, if someone who is just going to write something is going to ask you for advice, what would you say to them?
A young author, okay. So I believe that a person, whoever is really passionate about whatever he wants to do in their life, if they think that they want to write a book and there is something which is, their work is going to really impact the world, not only impact others' world, by just making a difference on 2 or 3 people's life, there is something they can do about it by writing a book. I think that really makes a difference, and that really what made me complete my book.
Yeah.
That is one thing that really made me complete my book, was all the time that this book is going to make an impact on the people, whoever reads it.
Indeed.
This is one thing.
And it will. Great. So now that we have chatted a lot about the book and we have gone in the world of spirituality as well a little bit, we have touched on that topic. Let us start with a fun segment where I'm going to ask you to name a book. And for example, I say, name a book that inspired you. Okay. And you can name the book and you can tell us why. So
okay.
I have a few names. So I have a few options and we can get started. Let's get started.
Yes.
Name a book
Tell me.
that
yes.
you treasure.
The Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
I have that literally next to me, and tell us why, because I know it's a great book.
I think you already know I'm talking about manifestation and the power, of power of your own self. So this book is a complete, like how many times I've read this book, I do not know. And I truly believe in each and every word written in this book.
Great. Okay. Name a book that changed your life.
Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich.
Great. That's a great title as well. Okay. Name a book that you believe is a must read. The Power of You?
Yes, I should actually suggest that.
Yeah.
The Power of You, Manifest Your Quest. Do not miss out on that. But apart
Yeah.
from that, I would actually suggest um, the books written by Swami Satyanand Saraswati and the autobiography of a yogi. Just, reading it once also is fine. And these people, these luminous souls, have given out a lot of formulas that we are looking for in our lives in their
Yeah.
own ways.
It's interesting that it's relevant today as well. It was written like decades back. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. Okay. So name a book that is on your reading list next.
Okay, it's You Will Noah Harari's 21 Lessons for 21st Century. I've been like keeping it that I have to read the book. And there is one more book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel.
Same. It's on my reading list as well. Okay. Now we are going to end this interview and this segment with a great question. Name a book that you would recommend to a new bookworm and why? And do tell us why.
Well, you know what? I have been a huge follower of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and my motivation in life really started with him, with his life. And after reading the book, I believe that that book always is there in my, like, I want to go back and read it again and again. And I believe that a person who has just started off reading a new bookworm, then I would suggest, please go and read his book On the Wings of Fire. And I feel this book brings about a fire in us. And if you want something in your life that you have been looking for, and if you believe that you want it, then the universe conspires and it will come to you. So I believe that that book really is a life-changing book.
Indeed, indeed. And do tell us why we should read your book. Let's end the segment with that as well.
Well, my book, Manifest Your Quest, The Power of You. It is a book about self-transformation. If you are looking for self-transformation in 21 days, then you should read this book. And this book comes with its own set of doable exercises after every chapter. It is just not a book, it's a workbook kind of a thing that I have created, where whenever you read this, there is every page is an inspiration in itself. And when you are reading this, by the end of it, I am 100% sure you will find yourself on a different level altogether, or very close to where you want to be in your life,
Indeed, indeed.
in your manifestation journey.
Great, great. I think it's very important to retrain our minds after like the 20 years of our life or plus that. It's difficult to do that, but if your venture, this book is a great start. And let us end the interview. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed talking to you. It was a very insightful interview. And I wish you all the best for your future. Thank you so much.
It was my absolute pleasure being here, Purnima. Thank you so much for having me here on the show. Thank you so much.
Great.